Welcome to the Kee To Growth Podcast, Home Services Marketing Unlocked, with me, your host, Jen McKee. Every week, I sit down with top marketers in the trades, from the brains behind $100 million companies to those scaling from 1 to 3, even to 10 million, breaking down exactly how they got where they are and uncover the secret to their success. If you're ready to grow your business and get real, actionable insights, you're in the right place. Let's unlock the key to your marketing success, starting now.
Hey friends, it's Jen McKee, your host of the Kee To Growth Podcast. If you're a home service leader who's ready for bigger growth, stronger leadership, and more visibility in 2026, listen up. I'm hosting something brand new. The Growth Experience is a powerful 2-day conference happening right here in my hometown of San Antonio, Texas. This event is designed for you if you are an owner or leader who wants to scale smarter with profit-first financial clarity, stronger leadership and sales systems, real operational efficiency, how to use AI tools, and of course, modern marketing visibility that actually works. You're going to learn from incredible speakers, connect with the brightest minds in the trades, and walk away with strategies you can use immediately in your business. VIP spots will even get full content capture experience in two deep dive workshops on confidence, leadership, and storytelling. Tickets officially go on sale January 8th if you have saved your seat on the waitlist. Waitlist gets first access, best pricing, and early VIP access. So go to thegrowth-experience.com to get on the list. Trust me, this is a room you're going to want to be in. March 30th through April 1st, 2026 in San Antonio, Texas. See you there. Welcome back, everyone, to the Kee To Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Jen McKee, and per usual, I'm super excited about my guest today. Today guest is somebody who I am so grateful to know and have been able to have a relationship with over the last year or so. She's just an incredible human. And so I'm excited for her to share with you guys all of the things that she knows and she does. Her name is Laura Kelly. So Laura, if people don't know you, tell them who you are.
Yeah. Hey, thank you guys for having me. And thank you for those of you tuning in. Laura Kelly, originally from Ireland, came here with, ambitions to learn a lot of stuff. And honestly, I was struggling with some mental health challenges at the time. And I was trying to really, I was known as a person that was accomplishing a lot of stuff, and I was struggling to continue to accomplish because I was struggling. And I figured if I, bailed and left the country, people wouldn't be able to see the fact that I'm struggling, and I could be left alone and heal and still grow. But if you try to run away from, problems, they'll just follow you. So my problems did follow me. I came to the United States, grew a lot, learned a lot, and my mental health also actually spiraled in a negative way while here, mainly because there was a lot of shame around admitting that I wasn't as freaking strong as I would have liked to have been. And until I met my husband now, Josh, I never felt comfortable being wildly transparent and honest about my struggles. And in doing so, we have built, and just being able to take care of me, and as a result, everyone in my circle, whether that's the companies we're part of, or the team, the people that choose to work with us, we've been able to grow many companies. Now we have 110. We have 6 home service companies doing 110 million revenue. Clover Growth Partners that has hundreds and hundreds of clients. And every single day, I work to ensure I'm facilitating environments that people can really thrive and be part of, and want to be part of, and feel comfortable and safe and wildly enthusiastic to be on the Clover Growth Partners train. And as they're on that train, they're growing personally, they're growing financially, and they're growing professionally. And I believe our job as owners and leaders is to make people so desirable that everybody wants them, but your organization is also so desirable that they never want to leave.
Yeah.
And I said to Jen offline here, like, would I say I'm the best digital marketer, like from a technical perspective? I would say heck no, that would not be the case. But something I am, one of my strengths for sure is things I build people want to be part of, whether that's clients because they want to experience our products, whether that's partners and they want to partner with us, whether that's team members, and our retention across each of those categories that I've just alluded to is really profound. And I believe that is because I am relatively good at marketing myself and just being transparent and straight with people. And typically what results is people feel cared for, people feel bought in, and people feel respected. And if you can make your vehicle conducive to somebody getting to their dreams, you'll typically be a company that people want to be part of. And I think at its foundation, that's marketing. Making something attractive enough that people want in. And I'm happy to share a whole host of strategies, techniques that I kind of stumbled on naturally, and obviously stumbled on through failure, and that have really allowed us be us be people that people want to work with. It's yeah, I'm honored that is our reality. And if I can help a person by sharing some of the tips and tricks, I'm happy to.
Yeah, I love that. I was just talking with somebody yesterday who was asking about their personal brand, and they were struggling a little bit because they were like feeling like some people seem so transactional. That was what they told me. Is like they're like, I struggle going to conferences because it seems like some people are just transactional. They're like trying to, get a relationship with this person so that they can meet this person or whatever. And sometimes people tell you things and like an answer comes to you and you're like, I feel like I have to say this because it's just in my head. And
Yeah.
it was so good. And I said it, but it just came through me. It wasn't,
Yeah.
but
No,
I
please.
loved it. And I think it relates to what you're saying. And that is it. And I actually posted about it today, but that is that marketing is so important because you have, as a business owner, you have a solution. You've come up with a solution to a problem that somebody has, and
Mhm.
you're actually doing them and yourself and your family a disservice when you're not trying to grow, when you're not trying to
Yes.
get your message out there and get your
Yes.
visibility out there and make sure that people know who you are. And whether that's internally or externally, internally to your team or externally to your customer, you have a duty to make sure that people know what it is that you do and who you are and how you help them so that you can do that. So it's really internally. Like if you're thinking about it transactionally, then it is. But if you see it for what it really is, which is a way to gain visibility, all marketing is a way to gain visibility so that people know that you exist and that you can help them, then it's our job to do that. Like
Yeah.
it's our job for our company, for our customer, for our team, for our family. That is our job.
What came to my mind is like you're also going to discover when you put yourself out there and your brand out there and your company out there that you're not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. But by not showing up at all, you're going to be for nobody because nobody has the opportunity to see you
Yeah.
and see what you're about and see what you care about. And it's those people that really that it's the people that really see you tend to buy into you the most. And I always say to people, so many people worry about getting more leads and more leads and more leads, and in our most successful companies, it's not always about volume of leads. It's getting the customers that already buy from you to buy more from you.
Yeah.
Um, and it's we all the 80/20 principle is very much alive and well in marketing, in that you can you can have a whole quantity of leads, but unless quality is there, it doesn't do a whole lot. So I encourage anyone listening to this, like, how are you actually talking to your customer base? How are you how are you making more from the customers that you already have? For anyone listening to this, you might know that my father-in-law is Paul Kelly, my husband Josh Kelly, and they grew one of the largest residential companies in the United States. And when I
Yeah.
first met them, I would ask them, like, what the heck, like, what are some of the things that stand out in your brain as the things that propelled you all to the next level? Like, what was
This is so good. Everybody needs to take notes right now. I was going to ask you this question, so I'm glad that you brought it up.
Yeah, what was the things that propelled you to the next level? And the one of those things, and there was a few of them, but one of those things was make more from the customers that you already get. So I want you to I want you to engage in that thinking. Something Paul also says is, if you meet often enough with the right people, you'll solve any problem. So perhaps an actionable activity for anyone listening to engage in right now is find the people that would be worth meeting with and say, okay, how could we pull more from the customers that we already have, and brainstorm on that and come up with an actionable plan, and put someone accountable for it. Because I always say to people, if everybody's responsible for a thing, nobody's responsible for it. And it's so easy to engage in a meeting, and that could be a marketing meeting, where you put a plan in place and you're like, cool, everyone's enthused and no one's accountable for it.
Yeah.
And what the bystander effect will end up showing up, where nobody ends up taking ownership, and the result, the plan just stays a plan. But yeah, how can you get more from the customers that already choose you? It was is something that changes the game for change the game for all of our companies. And asking yourself, like, sometimes I think people engage in strategies to just engage in the strategy, and they don't actually think it through. So like sending out a blast text campaign to your list, just because you engage in that activity doesn't necessarily mean it's going to bear fruit. You also need to say, okay, how can I potentially hook them? How can I hook them? Don't just engage in an activity to engage in activity. How can I hook my audience right now? How can I build a rapport with them? How can I understand what they care about and talk about that more? I saw a lot recently. I've been seeing something actually Catherine Howard saw do really, really well. And I know you have helped her out some. Is a lot of home service companies are concerned about like showing up on social, and sometimes the stuff that they're sharing on social, no homeowner really cares about it. Like they don't necessarily they're showing up to just show up, but are they considering whether their customer would care to watch? And I've seen a lot of people engage, not a lot of people, some wise contractors engage in going out into the marketplace and asking questions related to their community. And it ends up skyrocketing views, and as a result, they're top of mind, and it's been a major brand play.
Yeah, that was such a good strategy that they did. And that's something we did not help them with. That was something they did internally, but it's something that we're always telling our clients is like, ask questions about like in San Antonio, everybody has like their favorite taco place. So go and ask multiple people what their favorite taco is. It sparks controversy in the comments because everybody has an opinion about it. Yeah. And it's something that's like very specific to your market that people want to talk about. And so then your content, like, who your customer is, especially as a whole service company. It's the people in your market, the homeowners in your market. So what kinds of things are they talking about? Like, yeah, it's good to teach them about the different types of air filters and remind them that they need to change them, and talk to them about their thermostat, or, what the importance, like what a home generator can do for them. But those are things that they don't need all the time. So like, what are things that are always on their mind that they're talking about that you could also be a part of the conversation? So
something that you've thought that you've triggered for me is a lot of something else that we do in our home service companies that has been really well received, not just among our companies, but our clients, is the concept of levers. I feel like so many home service companies are they're so reliant upon their digital marketing company performing that if they don't, things can go awry. So we teach this concept called levers. What are some levers that you can have built out and that they can generate like a predictable result? So for instance, call volume's down, there's not enough calls on the board. What are some levers that you found work that could bring about call volume? So which ties back to something else that it's so important that you care about. Another tip that my father-in-law shared with me when he said one of the things that have contributed to our success is what's called a DP report. So you determine what's the revenue dollar amount you want to bring in over the course of the year. You break that down to a quarterly amount, to a monthly amount, to a weekly amount, to a daily amount. And we tell our clients we don't necessarily care if you don't hit revenue goal any given day, but if you don't hit revenue goal 2 to 3 days in a row, that's the start of a trend. And being able to pivot early and often, they're the contractors that end up arriving at goal month over month and create a culture of winning. It's the contractors that want to have like $1 million month and it's the 27th of the month and they've done like 700K that pivoting at that point is a bit late and they end up missing goal. But the key to running a successful DP report is having your various managers, your marketing manager included, in that morning meeting. And you're looking at your DP and you're saying, okay, we're not necessarily on track. What are some levers that we're all going to pull to remain on track for goal? How are we going to use our brains right now to engage in the pulling of levers to allow us arrive at goal? And that might mean reaching out to your digital marketing company and strategizing or pivoting on things, or upping the dollar spend. But it might also mean things in-house that the marketing coordinator can pull, or engaging with you, Jen, because I know I don't believe you do all aspects of marketing, which I could be wrong about, so correct me.
No, we do social media.
Yeah, you do social media. So even like sometimes I think people get so caught up in how and not who, which as they encounter struggles, like if you're listening right now and call volume's short and you have a social media marketing manager, you have a digital marketer, you have a person in-house, and you also have 5 other really smart friends, why the heck aren't you calling them for ideas?
Yeah.
How to get call volume rocking and rolling.
I was going to ask you from that, because as you're saying this, and so actually, you sent me that DP report, and it's something that I put in place, and I definitely could get a whole lot better at using it. And it's also different for companies like mine and yours, right? Because we work off of recurring revenue rather than daily. But there's still money coming in every day. And I could definitely get better at it. But I love that idea of like looking at it every day. Key Marketing specializes in Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube to build your brand awareness or drive leads using social media ads. If you're ready to elevate your social media, go to keyheartmarketing.com or follow us on social media. What are some things that even around call volume, if call volume is down, like what are like 3 levers that you would say to try and pull?
Yeah, I definitely believe in texting. That's
when I got it too.
Yeah, really believe in texting. I really believe in pulling getting your sales recovery person on the phone, and for those leads that didn't close over the past 24 hours, 48 hours, that your sales recovery person in-house calls them. And honestly, if you're really freaking short of revenue, just bloody call them yourself. Sometimes that's like, that's not where you want to end up. But I encourage everyone listening to adopt the whatever it takes philosophy and mindset. And sometimes that might mean calling yourself to get that deal done. Getting obsessed with capitalizing each lead that comes in is a frame of mind that will allow your your marketing spend go so much further. So that and an email campaign it can be a fine thing too. But honestly, the third thing that I think would be more impactful is, what are 5 people that I could get on the phone with right now that I could say, hey, what are some levers that I should consider pulling right now to generate call volume? And you'll probably end up leaving those 5 conversations with 10 different things that you could do.
So, that other people have tried.
I think so many people rely upon their own ideas instead of saying, who is somebody I know that I could reach out to right now and bounce ideas off? Oftentimes you're going to arrive at the answer yourself. You just needed someone to speak to. And if not, you're tapping into wisdom of other people. I say this to all our clients when they come on board with us. I want you to set yourself a challenge, and for the next year, every single month, I want you to befriend somebody that is really good at something you care to be really good at. I don't want you to just quiz their brain and send them on their merry way. I want you to befriend them. I want you to discover how you can add value to them also, so that you can have this symbiotic relationship and you can reach out to a person when you do need them, because you're not a person that just takes. You also sincerely care about giving. If you
Yeah.
nurture, if for the next month, if you take this challenge seriously and you speak to a Jen or an Ellen Rohr or a Catherine Howard or a Paul Kelly or a Josh Kelly or a Daryl or some of the best operators in our space, and sincerely befriend them. Yeah, you're probably not going to be best friends with all of them, but chances are you'll become pretty close with 6 of them if you have a sincere heart to go about befriending. And then you're opening yourself up to such a possibility of wisdom. So when you hit that inevitable slump in call volume, because it happens, we're in, especially if it's HVAC, we're in, our industry is seasonal. You have people to call on, and if you're multi-trade, I highly encourage you to leverage cross-selling and tap further into the wisdom in our industry. Like Brian Burton, for instance, he's bloody fantastic at teaching people how to cross-sell. And something that we've done, a framework that we do that facilitates cross-selling in a really conducive way, because like I've said, it's not about lead volume. It's maximizing every lead that comes in. Yes, lead volume is part of it, but it's not the whole story. When you're in a home, something we have all our technicians do, and it's like non-negotiable. I notice most of why something. It's called. So we noticed when we would, when in our, not every home service company that we partnered with were thriving out the gate. A lot of people wanted to partner with us because they were living the same story month after month and they wanted to break through. So the dollar amount that we have available to us to market with is lower at first. So we have to just be wise and really capitalize on every lead that comes in. So we had to hone in on maximizing every lead and cross-selling across services. So this is something that we've learned in our own companies, but Paul and Josh did for years in Parker. As Parker really grew, teaching like the perfect script to every technician to cross-sell a thing when they don't want to sell anyway is difficult. So what they did was they boiled down a framework that allowed any technician bring opportunity up in the home with ease. So the framework was, I notice most of why. So for instance, you're in a home you're called out to fix an electrical panel. And as part of the health and safety inspection, you notice that their system is 10 plus years old. You go up to Mrs. Jones and you say, Mrs. Jones, I noticed you have a 10 plus year old system. Most of our customers consider replacing after 10 years because it saves them so much money on utilities. May I ask why you have not? And the requirement is that on every single call, they look for something else that is genuinely going on in the customer's home so that they can bring that opportunity up to a customer. And as a result, that lead, that dollar amount they're able to pull from that customer, their average ticket goes up. And as a result, you're giving yourself more marketing spend so you can double down on the marketing strategies that really are working.
Yeah, there's 2 things that I thought of while you were talking. One of them is I think that another thing to always look at is conversion in what's going on the sales side when any of this is happening, and just to optimize that. And so I think about, actually I thought of 3 things, but I think about that as far as when you're pulling levers, like that's a lever that maybe you're going to pull it today and it isn't going to bring in money tomorrow, but it can help you next month and the month after be more consistent. And so I think that's one. People get a lot of tools, like maybe they're using Rilla, but then they're not like fully utilizing all of the capabilities of how it can really bring in more money, or they're using Chirp, but again, like they haven't really fully built it out. They're not taking advantage of the people, of their account managers who can tell them what other people are doing. And that brings up the idea of like who's in your circle. And I guarantee that almost all of your marketing partners would be happy to get on a call with you at any point and give you any idea that they can do or that they've seen their customers do. And so if you don't have a direct person that you're like, oh, this is who I can call, which I hope that you do. And if you don't, that's where these conferences can be so great, because you get the chance to be in the same room with all of these people and meet them and find out where they're at and what they do. And every one of my clients that were there and everybody that I met is so open to sharing and talking and connecting and getting your phone number and bringing you out to their shop. I go on shop tours. Like I don't even I don't even have a shop, but there's so many people who are so willing to share everything. But if you don't have that person yet and you have marketing vendors, all of them will get on the phone with you and tell you
100%.
what they're seeing is working, what their other clients are doing, what else they offer, how they can help you. So that's um another great lever. And then I have one more thing based on what you were saying, and this is around a conversation I was having with someone yesterday about building out your marketing ecosystem. And I think about leveraging the most from every lead that you get. So like once you have that customer information, you or even someone that didn't turn into a customer, this is data that you can actually use for all of your other marketing. Like you can run Facebook ads directly to this person. You can mail things directly to this person. Um you can email them, you can text them, you can keep them in your marketing ecosystem even if they're not ready for you now, but now they're continuing to see you everywhere, which is what will help them choose you the next time that they actually are ready.
100%. See, as you were talking, you made me think of two things that might be valuable here. Is a lot of people make this mistake. I hear it. I run round tables with all of our different managers across the different companies. And last week I was running a round table with a round table with our call center managers, and we were going around and I asked them difficult questions. Like one question is like, if your replacement came in tomorrow, what's the first thing that they would change and why?
Yeah, that's
And
good.
yeah, I asked difficult questions like that. And last week, whatever question it was I asked was, it brought us to this realization. It brought us to a lady saying this: "I'm really proud of my, my booking percentage. It's like 98, 100%." And in my head, I was like, she's that no way. Like there's no,
Yeah.
it's not. And there was another gal on the call, and they've implemented AI fully in their call center, and her booking percentage is 75%. And she said, honestly, it didn't really change that much from when people were on the phone, when you actually considered what was a bookable call. Many
Yeah.
CSRs are self-classifying what's a bookable call and what's not a bookable call. So I highly encourage anyone listening to this to go into your Service Titan or whatever software you use, and the calls that they've said are unclassified, I encourage you, or not bookable calls, I encourage you to listen to them. And I
Mhm.
guarantee you there's so much lost dollars in there, and they are, but many of them, not all of them, for sure. Some of them sincerely perhaps couldn't be booked, but there are some of them in there that were bookable calls. They just
Yeah.
were a little less ordinary perhaps, and there was a skill gap in your CSR's capacity to book them. So if you
Which
are
is
listening
another
to this,
lever, right? Like where else can you look where there's
where else
money?
where else can you look? Where else are we possibly leaving dollars on the table to capitalize on dollars going out, to capitalize dollars coming in, so we can spend more on marketing. So look at the calls that are non-bookable, quote unquote, because I freaking know that there's opportunity in there.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing that came to my mind was a term we used to use was called drive your digital marketing company, but I actually would like to frame that differently. It's like partner with your digital marketing companies or
Yeah.
partner with your marketing companies. I think that's a flawed mindset that many business owners have. Is like they're like they don't see the relationship with their marketer as like a partnership.
Yeah.
And therefore they almost see it as like an order taker. Hey, you've got the skills, here's my money, bring me
Yeah,
calls.
like, do whatever. You said you were gonna do this, so please do it. And that's
Yeah.
hard because marketing requires so much collaboration in order to really
Yes.
work.
And so if you're listening to this and you're asking yourself honestly, do I collaborate and do I partner with my marketing vendors, or do I just ask? Do I just are they? Do I just have expectations and I don't collaborate at all?
Mhm.
If you change that, you're going to be on their horizon more, and their chances are they're going to prefer working with you because they need your collaboration in order to be able to truly market you well.
Yeah.
So just a
And
consideration.
it's a lever. And
Yes.
and really, and I think back, specifically to Chirp when I had Ryan Finn on the show and he was talking and he was just, like, giving these really great use cases of Chirp,
Yeah.
that I'm like, "Can I need to just, like, pull this out and send it to all of my clients who are Chirp customers because these are things that they might not even know." And not because your account manager doesn't care, but just because they don't even know that you don't know, or they don't know that this is
Yes.
something that you could do, There's
Yes.
so utilize that relationship for sure. That's what your marketing partner wants to do, that with you.
Yeah.
And if you have an internal marketing person, it's the same thing. Like, have conversations with them, ask them what they think, ask them what they're seeing, ask them what they've seen out there. And if they haven't, ask them to do research and see what other people are doing.
So a little tip for anyone listening too, what I found really helpful, if I bring, if I, I have a marketing manager in one of our companies, and he's come from the car industry, but he's a bright guy, but he lacks industry knowledge. So I have him meeting every single week with another one of our company's marketing manager who's been in the industry for a lot longer, and she shapes his thinking. So
Yeah.
nobody on this call, nobody listening to this doesn't know somebody else in the industry with a good marketing manager that you could ask to mentor yours.
Yeah.
And setting up that weekly call, they both benefit from it. The teacher benefits because it integrates their learning more, and they get fulfillment from another person growing. The person that has a lack of awareness is now feeling more capable and is experiencing more momentum.
Yeah.
So one other tip: don't just facilitate mentorship for yourself; facilitate it for your people.
Yeah. Before we go here, one thing I think that is really interesting that I would like for you to share on is you guys were Clover Marketing and switched to Clover Growth Partners. So, like, what was the reason behind that switch?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Yeah, so a lot of people think Clover was called after me because I'm Irish. It wasn't actually. It was a DBA inside Parker and Sons, the family business that Josh and Paul sold. Josh and his family. So Paul, Josh, Trisha, Justine, they were all involved. And when they sold it, they had to they separated the marketing company. They had a little marketing company within it, and they separated it. And the DBA they chose to call. They didn't really care because it wasn't going to be anything necessarily. And Paul and Josh were sitting in a bar, and Paul was like, "Just call it Clover," and he was like, "Sure, let's call it Clover." Clover Marketing. And because Josh was doing some media buying for clients because Parker's media was doing so great, like they had their brand play in the Diamondback Stadium was brilliant. Their cost per acquisition in terms of radio and TV were brilliant. They had like a Melvin play for anyone in the Arizona area. It was a whole Melvin story, and it was. So people were asking him to do media. So he was like, "Sure, So that was what it was, and we never anticipated. Then when I came on, Paul, my father-in-law, was like, "You guys need to partner. There's something here that you could really do for the industry. Your skills are very they complement one another." And we were just recently married, and it was kind of during it was just before COVID, and we were like, "Sure, let's kind of give it a whirl." And we didn't anticipate the success that we've had. We really didn't. I cared about growing something meaningful. He cared about us having a good living and impacting in a good way. And it just snowballed. And all of a sudden, Clover Marketing was not at all, it didn't at all clearly communicate what we do, because we don't,
Yeah.
media buying is a part of what we do, but we really, we have consulting programs that remove the guessing from your growth, whether
Yeah.
that's growing your when you come on board, we have a 90-day program, full money back guarantee, where if you don't grow within 90 days significantly, we refund you everything you've invested with us. And then you go on like a maintenance plan, where you consistently meet with us and our coaches to ensure that you're growing from a revenue and profitability perspective. So we call it Clover Growth Partners because we partner with you on your growth. And what growth means to us is that there's higher revenue, higher profit, and a higher quality of life. Each of those three things significantly jump. And if they don't, we expect you to be dissatisfied, and then we learn, change, and evolve. But we've been doing this now for several years, and it's been humbling and wonderful and wildly fulfilling to see not just people have more money, but now the quality of their life is changing as a result of this money. They're not up to their ears stressed. They're not spinning a gazillion plates. They're not answering the same questions that their technicians are asking them 20 times. And they answered that question to a different technician yesterday. They have systems in place that are causing major talent attraction, able to afford great vendors like Jen, and it's been a wild ride. So that's why we're called Clover Growth Partners. We partner with folk in their growth, and marketing is a part of that.
Sounds like a no-brainer. I don't know why I almost said that. Laura, I have absolutely loved this conversation. I think there's so much that people can get out of it. At the end of every episode, I ask all of our guests the same question. This is a Kee To Growth podcast. So the question is, what is the key to growth?
The first thing that came to my mind is the DP report. I say that because it allows you have a scoreboard of where you're going. At the start of the year, it allows you anticipate where you want to go, and it allows you ensure that you're continually on track. And if you're not on track, wouldn't you want to know about it so you can have the conversations to get back on track? Don't worry about being off track any given day. But if you're off track 3 days in a row, that's the start of a trend, and it's an opportunity to get back on track. It facilitates awareness, and as a result, it's one of the biggest ingredients to growth. I see that in real time, and it was also one of my father-in-law's number one ingredients that he said, attributed to Parker and Sons becoming as massive as it was. And he shows that DP report all over his office. All his team see it. Your team don't need to know your profit, but being transparent about the revenue that you're striving for is really important. And then bonusing everybody when you hit that DP goal monthly, it facilitates incredible alignment within your organization.
Ryan, I love that. Yeah. All right. So if people want to find you and connect with you, where should they go?
Yeah, growwithclover.com is our website. We offer complimentary calls where we've trained our people to help you solve your number one challenge that you come in with. So if you end up booking that call, come with your biggest challenge, and you'll leave with an action plan to solve it. You're very welcome to follow me on social. Reach out to me via email, laura@growwithclover.com. And if there's a resource here or something that you would like me to gift you as a gift to my friend Jen, I will send you that resource. So laura@growwithclover.com. Happy to send you a blank version of a DP report, and anything else I might have mentioned that caught your attention.
I love that. Thank you so much, Laura. This was awesome. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Jen. Thank you.